Hey YouTube. Alright, so it is Monday and I'm over here at the Grand Dam working on, I'm working on the original engine I just pulled out of the 07 Prix, and this is a Series 2 block. And since there was nothing wrong with the bottom end, see, Series 2, yeah, since there was nothing wrong with the bottom end, it was this lifter that broke and fucked up the cam. So I just got an NA 3800 cam out of a Series 3 and just kind of cleaned up the block, wire wheeled the face, wire wheeled everything, got all the gaskets off, got it nice and cleaned up, cleaned out the oil pan, cleaned off the outside of the oil pan. This was a new gasket and it seemed to leak, so I put some RTV back on it because all this rubber all the way around looked good, so I'll just reuse that gasket. Pretty much I'm just building this for the Grand Prix again, because I still have the harness, the computer, I still have the injectors, like I still have everything from whenever I had a supercharged engine in the Grand Prix. So I'm kind of just using those heads I have over there and that lower intake manifold with the supercharger. It's going to have the NA or the 3/8 factory pulley, because I'm taking this for this one for the Grand Dam. So this is just going to be pretty much a 3/8 top swap, but just factory. So not pushing a whole lot of boost, just something. So I don't know, it's just something I can do right now. I already have gaskets, I have head gaskets, I have the heads. I mean, it's just might as well, you know, give me something to do. So I still got to pull this timing cover back off and this crank pulley back off, pull all that back off, because I did not RTV right here where the timing cover meets up to the oil pan. You gotta put some RTV right there in both those corners, and I didn't. And then I still gotta pop this whole top end back off and RTV in these four corners, and actually bolt the lower intake manifold on and then bolt the blower on. And I still gotta torque down these heads because they're just stuck on there right now. But I mean, overall, this I made a lot of progress on this, but right now I just want to get this going. And then I don't know, like I've really been debating over the last couple days on the 07 and what I want to do, because the cam got messed up a little bit, and I was kind of having mixed feelings on if I just wanted to rebuild this block again, put the cam and everything back in this one, throw it back in there. But I don't know, I really don't want to do that. I really want to have a Series 3 engine and internals for the 07, because it's going to be, you know, on the 2.9 pulley and intercooled, and I just don't want to have any issues with the bottom end. So pretty much I'm either going to pull this Series 3 engine back out of the 06 whenever this one's completed and ready to go in, and when I do that, I have another supercharged trans 4T65E HD. This was the original trans out of the 07, and the one that's in the 07 now is a junkyard. But yeah, you can see how dirty it is and caked, so I'm definitely gonna have to clean that up. It's gonna need a new filter and pan gasket and probably a shift kit in that one too. But yeah, I'll have this engine, made it up to that, and that's what will go in this. The computer's tuned for the factory transmission. This transmission was a reman, but it's a different gear ratio, and I'm not for sure. I mean, like, the trans still seems to be fine, but it does get up to like 230, 240 degrees on long drives. So, and that's even with an external trans cooler, completely bypassing the radiator cooler, and it still gets hot. So right now I'm just trying to get this together so I can get all this ready, because right now I'm either going to have to use this block for the 07 that's in the 06 now, because it is a Series 3 block, and when I put it in, it set it right on the side, so I know this engine's a Series 3. And then the block that's in the bed of my truck is the original engine out of the 07, and it is also a Series 3, and it's stamped on the side of the block. But the one that's in the bed is the original engine. It was originally supercharged, so it's got that little bit lower compression ratio. So I can either use this engine and do top swap and have the Series 3 internals, so it's all stronger internals, all that, or I can take the one that's in the bed to the machine shop, spend $500-600, have them machine it, buy new pistons and rings and all that, redo it all, and have almost another $1,000 into the engine. Or I could just pull this $300 engine, strip it all down to how I just had that block, and just build everything into this one. Now, even if I do that, either way, I still have to get the cam checked out and see if it can be saved. And as long as the cam can be saved, then I can build. But right now, you know, I couldn't really make any progress. I have this engine on the stand, and I've got that one on the stand. I still have to find a manual trans before I can do anything with that block into the Grand Am. So I mean, I don't really have anything else I can do right now. I can't make any progress on the 07. I can't make any progress on the Grand Am. And I'm pretty much at a standstill right now on the truck because of exhaust. So this is the only thing I really have left to do is, I mean, I was trying to get the 07 going, and the only thing I can really find, you know, good explanation I can find to do is to take these extra parts I got laying around with this good bottom end and just throw it back together for this, and then take the good engine I need out of this, and then I'll still have the original block that's in the bed of the truck now, and I could still totally rebuild it another time later on down the road. But for right now, the cheapest option for me, since I'm going to have to get the cam checked out, if the cam cannot be saved, then it's going to cost me another $450 to get another cam from ZZP. And I just really can't afford that right now. Like, I just spent like $5,000 on buying all the stuff for the Grand Prix, and some of it for this, and some of it for the truck, and I mean, I've spent everything I had. I am broke. I have like $2 to my name, and I'm still like 4 days away from payday. So yeah, I mean, I'm about tapped out, so I'm just trying to do something to keep me busy and keep me occupied so that I can get something going and at least feel like I'm still making progress. So this is what I'm doing today. I'm about to grab these heads and these head gaskets and start getting those on there. I've got the rockers underneath the valve covers on there, so I have the push rods in here. There's my push rods, and I do have a brand new, I don't know where they went, but I have a brand new, oh there they are, front and rear main seals. So there's my front and rear main seal, and then I've got the timing cover and the aluminum oil pan that came off of this engine whenever I just pulled it out of the Grand Prix. And well, not that oil pan, that timing cover did. It's got the machined oil pump cover on it. And yeah, I just went and power washed those and cleaned them up. I'm going to end up painting that oil pan and that timing cover red. And I have another brand new water pump I'm going to end up painting black. That's going to go on there. And it's going to get this new front seal, and then I don't know if I'm going to do this plate that's in here or the plate that's on there, but one of them is going to get this rear seal. And yeah, so I've got to pull that machined oil pump cover off to go back onto the Grand Prix. So yeah, but yeah, and then I still got to pull this back off, pull this timing cover off, get all that stuff RTV'd, and I don't know, I might change this out with a red one, or I might just repaint this one red or something, because I'm really digging the black and red, and the silver just doesn't really seem to go with it. Like this bare aluminum looks good, but just that brighter silver, it looks too shiny. It just looks too good. It doesn't match the rest of it. So that timing cover's got to go. It's got to get painted or something. But I mean, other than that, everything on this is going great. I've still got to pull those injectors off. I got to get some new O-rings on them so they can go on this fuel rail. And you know, I need to get this whole top end bolted down and together and RTV'd and torqued down and ready to go. And then I can swap these pulleys around. But yeah, so I'm just gonna kind of quit rambling on. It's been 11 minutes. Sorry guys, but yeah, this is what I'm kind of deciding to do right now. Is I'm going to build this engine so I can throw it in the 06, and then once I pull the engine and transmission out of the 06, I can drop this engine with that transmission and the harness and everything back in here, and then I'll have that engine I can tear apart and do my top swap, and it'll just have this pretty much be the same as this, but stronger internals. This was also a 335,000 mile engine whenever I did the top swap originally almost a year ago, and I put at least 3,000 or 4,000 miles on it, at least, if not more. So I mean, this is a very high mileage engine, and with the intercooler and the more boost and all that, I just don't really think that this bottom end would hold up. I mean, it might, don't get me wrong, it might, but I just don't want to chance it. And I'd rather use the Series 3. It's a good strong engine, it runs great, there's no noises or ticks or nothing. So I think it's a good donor. And then that way the Grand Prix will be supercharged again. So I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm just gonna start getting all this bolted together. I will keep you guys updated as I go. And yeah, I'm gonna get this going. So y'all stay tuned and I'll keep you updated. Alright y'all, so I've got the heads on, got them torqued down, 30, 60, 90. So they're all torqued down. I used RTV as the thread sealant. So heads are on there. I'm pretty happy. So I got the cam in, got the lifters in and the lifter guides, got the heads on. So now I've just got to get a timing set on here, and then I can get the timing cover on. And well, after I get it timed, of course, then I can get the timing set on, get it timed, get the timing cover on with the water pump, and then it's pretty much intake and push rods and all that. I mean, it's getting there, so it's pretty close. But I'm gonna keep on working. Just wanted to give you guys a little update on this engine, so stay tuned. Alright y'all, so I've got the lower intake manifold on. It is bolted down and torqued down to 20 foot-pounds for right now. Also have the rocker bolts torqued down to 20 foot-pounds right now. Got to look up all my torque specs. I just want to get them pretty tight. So now I just got to get a timing set on here, get it timed, and I can get the timing cover thrown on there. And probably just going to pull this timing cover off and throw it on this one, since it's got the painted silver lower intake manifold. And I'm probably going to use this silver bracket there for the coil pack bracket, and then that way this will be all black, red, and silver. So whatever, not a big deal. So I've got to get this fuel rail with these injectors off, and I've got to get this blower off this lower intake manifold, because I'm using this lower intake manifold for the 07 whenever it goes back together. So I'm going to get this blower off this lower intake manifold and this fuel rail, and I've got to get a gasket. But Yeah, I'll get a supercharger gasket on there, get this blower set up on there, and torque it down. I'll get the water pump housing, yeah, right there. I'll get that swapped over onto that one, or I'll get one swapped over onto that one. Yeah, this engine, it's coming together pretty quick, so I've still got I've got the push rods in there, everything's in, and it's just, right now it's not timed, so it's just not spinning the cam as I spin the crank. So that's definitely the next thing I got to do. Can't spin around too much, don't want to fuck nothing up, but for now it's getting there, it's coming together, so I'm happy with it. Hopefully everything goes well. So I just gotta, now I gotta start pulling this one apart and get that timing cover off so I can get that shit on here. And I have a different timing cover that's gonna go back on there, so no worries. Yeah, between these two, I'm making a lot of progress, so I'm gonna keep working at it, and I'll keep you guys updated as I go. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Alright, y'all. So, well, I've got my oil pump drive on there, so I've got this gear on here. It's not in time yet because I can't turn the cam because I've got the push rods in there. But so I still got to set the cam key that I have. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, it's like twisted right there, and it's not letting the gear right here in the little notch, it's not letting that slide over the cam key. This one slides over it, but this gear isn't sliding over. It's hitting that notch that's in the cam key. So a new cam key is like $2 on ZZP, so I'm just gonna order probably 2 or 3 of them. That way I'll have one for the new engine. I still gotta get the XPZ cam looked at, but I mean, as far as making any more progress on this engine, I can't set the timing until I get another cam key and another cam gear. I have my magnet, so I'm probably just going to order a timing kit off of eBay for like $40 or $45 or whatever it is, and it comes with the new chain, the new gears, this pulley, the new tensioner, the new oil pump drive gear. I'm pretty sure it comes with all of them except for the balance shaft, so that way I'll have all brand new everything. And I'm not for sure if it comes with the new cam key or not, but like I said, I can order that from ZZP, and then that way it'll just have all new timing set on it. I mean, this one's nothing fancy, so this is just going to be just another engine, but at least having a whole new timing kit on it, it's not super expensive. But right now my main focus is going to be getting that cam looked at, and hopefully I can get it fixed, so that way I don't have to spend another $400 on a new cam. But overall, I made some good progress today. I need to replace this drain plug because the last couple threads on it are stripped. That's why it's not all the way in. But overall, I've made a lot of progress today. I'm happy with the progress. So now, it's getting dark now, so I'm probably just going to pick up all my stuff. But tomorrow, I got to pull this off so I can get to the timing cover bolts and pull this timing cover off, because this pulley's blocking a couple of these bolts. I got to get the crank pulley off, the crank sensor, and this plastic piece off so I can pull the timing cover. And then this timing cover is going to end up going onto that engine with all that. So since I'm having to use this one over here, I at least have to use that machined oil pump cover for the XPZ cam build for the 07. So I can either use that timing cover I've already painted red with the new front seal and all that, and I could just throw that one on this engine and then repaint that one and put a new oil pump in it and paint that one red for the 07 and do the new front seal, which is over there. Or I can just paint another one and put on this one. So I've got this timing cover over here. I think that was the one that came off of the black Grand Prix when I blew it up. So that oil pump is probably trash. I'm not for sure. I know I drove it dry for at least 5 or 6 minutes, maybe 10 minutes after it blew up the engine. But the damn thing still ran, so I don't know if the oil pump's any good or not. I'll probably pop it apart and see. But I have a couple of, I mean, I could pull this one off and repaint it red and stick it back on there, but that would kind of be pointless. I'd rather just take that one, throw it on there, and that way all the silver can match, since it's going to have the silver coil bracket and all that, and the silver alternator bracket. So, I mean, this one's going to have everything that's painted silver. This one's all going to be black and red, minus the lower intake. So, I'm going to take this supercharged pulley and put it on this engine. That more rusted one can go on this one. Like I said, this is just an extra engine that's going to end up going in the 06 eventually, but, I mean, yeah, it is what it is. But this is my main. The Grand Am engine and the Grand Prix engine are the two main focus, but I'm kind of stuck on the Grand Prix engine right now until I can get this one out. And I'm kind of daily in this car right now, so I can't just pull the engine out because the truck's down because of the exhaust. So it's just a big clusterfuck of bullshit, but I'm getting there. I'm just trying to have fun and trying to keep myself busy, so this is my stopping point for the day. Tomorrow, after I get off work, I'll be over here. I'm going to pull this fuel rail and pull this blower and get it all on that and torque down and all that and everything. But for right now, I'm tired. It's been a long day. I'm just going to get all this stuff picked up. And I got to wheel this engine stand back over to the other storage because I don't have room in this storage for it. So I gotta get all this stuff picked up, and I'll give you guys another update before I go home for the night. So y'all stay tuned. Hey YouTube, so it's the next day. It's Tuesday. Got over here to my storage, and I just pulled this lower intake and supercharger and everything off of. This is the engine for the Grand Am. So I've got both the heads torqued down. I've got my lower intake manifold gasket set in here. I need to put some RTV in each corner. And I've also got to pull this crank pulley and this supercharger belt idler off, so I can pull this timing cover off. I have this timing cover that's going to go on it, but I'm going to pull this new water pump off, and I'm going to put this black one on that I painted last night, right there. That's the timing cover that came off of the 07 with the machined oil pump cover. So, yeah, I'm just going to use that other one for now and just grab that water pump. And then once I swap that water pump around onto this one, I'll be able to put this timing cover on here, and it'll be all black and red with the black water pump. And I think it'll look really good. So, making some progress. So right now I'm about to put some RTV in these 4 corners and get this lower intake manifold set on there and get it bolted down and torqued down. And then after I get that on there, then I can set that supercharger back on there for now and worry about getting this timing cover off. So that's what I'm focused on right now. So y'all stay tuned. I'll keep you updated. Alright you guys, so I've got the lower intake manifold on. As you can see, RTV squirting out. So it's done. All torqued down to 20 foot-pounds for right now. Like I said, I still got to get some push rods. And so next thing I got to do is get this crank pulley off and get this timing cover off. I had some stuff come up, so I've got to run. So I might be back later tonight, but it'll probably be tomorrow. So I'm just going to throw this gasket and supercharger back up here and just toss the valve covers back on there to keep it together and pick up this little bit of mess I've made so far, and I will catch you guys back over here probably tomorrow. So stay tuned, you guys. I'll keep you updated. Hey YouTube. Alright, so it is Thursday, it's about 5 o'clock, and I got over here after work and I pulled the balancer off, got the timing cover off, and that's where I'm at right now. So the gasket stayed on there, still looks good. So I haven't ran it or nothing yet, so I'm gonna get some RTV down here in these corners, and this is the timing cover and brand new water pump that's going back on it. And I'm gonna get this thing back together, get it all torqued down, and go from there. So that's where I'm at right now. And then I'm probably gonna end up pulling that engine back out of there and maybe do a little bit of stuff on there, not for sure yet, but for now I'm getting this timing cover put on here and get all this stuff put back together. And I'm also going to use this other crank pulley instead of the one that I had on there, just because it's in a lot nicer condition. And then after that, I'm going to get this bracket here on there, and well, yeah, I'll get this bracket here on and start getting the headers and all that on there, and it's just about done. I still got to pull the supercharger back off and still mess with it a little bit more, but I'll keep you guys updated. You guys, so I've made quite a bit of progress. I've got everything swapped around, got my injector swapped around off that fuel rail, these are the 42.5. So I've got the supercharger on and torqued down, lower intake manifold on and torqued down, got the push rods in, timing covers on. I do have to get a gasket for between the oil filter housing. I've got the front header on, which I'm probably going to have to take back off, or at least loosen it to get the rear one on, get it going all the way. But I can't put it all together yet, because then I won't be able to fit it in here in this little short spot. So, but overall, it's really coming together. Made a lot of progress so far today. I still got to swap the pulley on the supercharger. I started to get the alternator bracket on and the coolant elbows and all that, but spun it over. It has really good compression, so I'm very happy about that. I also do have to still get my rear cover on back here. Well, my battery's dying, so can't use flash now. But yeah, I don't have this rear cover on back here, so I still got to get all this old gasket cleaned off and scraped off, and then get the new gasket on there with the rear plate, which is right there in that bag. It's got a brand new rear main seal in it, so I'm happy about that. Alright, you guys, so I've got the engine in here, everything stacked up here. We got, this is the other engine. This is a block that came out of the Grand Prix, out of the 07, and I didn't really do anything with this one today. I didn't really get to mess with it. I do have to use this easy out, and there's a stud, exhaust stud broke off right there in the front head, so I gotta try to get that out. And I am gonna have to get this off the stand and get the flex plate off so I can replace that rear main seal, just because I want to do it just because. And I have two of them, so figured might as well. So I don't know, sometime in the next few days I'm going to get this off the stand and get that rear main seal done, and try to get that broken stud out of the front head for the exhaust, so that way I can get the exhaust on. I do have a set of factory supercharged exhaust manifolds sitting back there just for this engine. They're the ones I got from Michigan with this supercharger, and I don't know, maybe that lower intake manifold, probably, since it was with that blower. And one thing I did notice while I had the supercharger off earlier was this lower intake manifold. Somebody's already deleted the, I don't know what it's called. I'll show you on this one. We got this little piece right here. somebody's already deleted this on that lower intake manifold, and in order for me to run the intercooler, I have to delete that. So I'm going to end up going and cleaning this up at the car wash and just get all this oil and nasty crap out of there. I'm just going to clean it up, and I might end up swapping that out with this one and use this one for the 07 just because it's already deleted. And with me not running an intercooler on this engine, I don't know if it not having that tube is going to be an issue or not. But overall, I'm really happy with the progress I made today. It's really getting there. I've just got this alternator bracket down there. I've got a couple more of them back there. One I have back there, I painted black, so it's going to go back on here because it's painted black. And yeah, I'm really happy with the progress so far. So I've got to get this gasket for this oil filter housing, and that's pretty much it for this one. I just got to get the rear header on and get this alternator bracket with the coolant elbows on, get the AC compressor on, which is, oh yeah, right there. And yeah, after that it's just a wire harness. And so I've got the original Grand Prix wire harness in this box right back over here. And I also talked to Gage on Facebook that has the black 3800 Supercharged 5-speed swap to Grand Prix. And he's been making custom harnesses, and he's trying to make like a swap kit to sell. And yeah, he told me that he might end up sending me his like his prototype harness, and that way I'll actually have one to use in the Grand Am, and it'll work with this 3800 and pretty much just plug and play into mine. And he said it'll work with the 4T45E 4-speed automatic factory Grand Am transmission. And then he's also doing another one to use the 4T65E HD. But that's not included in this harness. The harness that he's giving me said it will run either the factory 4T45E or the 5-speed Cavalier trans. So I'm doing the 5-speed swap. Like, I've already dedicated it. I've already broke the bell housing on this trans. So I mean, this has good guts in it and a good pan and all that, but other than that, there's nothing I can really salvage off of it for anything else. Like, I might be able to salvage the guts out of this one for my mom's if her transmission ever goes out. But for now, I'm just going to end up pulling this transmission and just getting it out of the way. I don't know where I'm going to put it, but I'm going to figure something out. But that's my next main big thing is I got to drop this subframe again, get that transmission out of there, and yeah, get this 5-speed and get it all bolted up to this, and then get it all bolted onto the subframe. If I end up not using the 5-speed subframe, that car is pretty rusted, and I'm just not sure of the condition of the subframe on that car. And as you can see, mine's very nice, not rusted at all. So I don't know, I guess I'm just gonna see how it looks once I get that car apart, which is still gonna be a little bit but baby steps, I'm making progress. So hopefully here before too long. I did get on his Easy Performance. I ordered 3 cam keys today. It was like $20 with the shipping and tax. But I got 3 cam keys on the way. And I got on eBay and I ordered the timing set for this. And just a factory timing set. It was like 40 something bucks, almost $50. So I have a brand new cam key coming in the mail for this, and a brand new timing set, so I'll be able to get this all timed. And I did rob the push rods I had stuck in this engine and put them into this engine just so I could see if it had compression, which it does. The engine has very good compression. I'm super happy with that. I'm actually really excited about that. So another thing I have to do is I got to take this tire and have it dismounted, and then have that tire on the car dismounted because there's a hole in the sidewall in the bead, and so I got to have that tire taken off and put onto that wheel and mounted and balanced so I can get it back on here and all 4 tires be aired up. Because here one day in the next couple weeks I want to pull this thing out of here and just get it out in the sunlight and maybe spray it down or something, wipe it off. I just want to see it out in the sunlight with the wheels on it. I'd really like to have the engine sitting in there, but I doubt that's going to happen, but it would be awesome. But yeah, I'd really like to get this all set down and see this engine in there. Just see how good it looks with the headers on it and if they're going to clear the fans or not. But I'm super excited with the progress. So that's going to be it for tonight, you guys. And I'll be back over here probably tomorrow and definitely over the weekend. And I'm going to get some more stuff done on these cars. So hopefully I can get that timing set in for this here pretty soon so I can finish getting this engine together. And a couple of small things like this sensor, I'm just going to have to take off the NA engine whenever I pull that engine out. And I can just swap the few little sensors around. But, I mean, I've still got all the factory belts and all that. So I'm going to have to pull this pulley off, and it's going onto that blower, and pull that ZZP pulley off, and it's going onto this blower. And it's going to get the 3/4 pulley on this one. And I'm going to take the 3/4 pulley off the 07 Supercharger, and it's getting that 2.9. So that's going to be sick. I still can't wait for that. But yeah, I pretty much decided I'm going to pull the engine out of the 06, rebuild that engine with everything for the 07. So it'll be an all Series 3 top swap. And that's pretty much what the Grand Am engine is. It's an NA engine with brand new pistons and rings. And so that's a top swap right there. This is an NA engine that I already had top swapped in the 07, and it ran great, so it should have no problem running, running this factory setup in the 06 with the tune and everything, with the supercharged transmission I got back there. Can't really see it, but I think it's going to be pretty good. So I'm excited. I'm going to keep making progress on this stuff. I'm just waiting for the timing set and a few other things, gaskets and stuff, to come in for this. I have to order the gasket for that one, which I'm also going to have to order the gasket because I swapped the housing between those. So both the gaskets on both of these need replaced now. And I was going to use that timing cover for this engine, so it'd be black, red, and silver. And yeah, so I don't know. I still got some stuff to figure out and to get done. I got to order some more things, and I'm just trying to take it easy and not go spin. But I want to get all these done. And my main one I really want to get done is the 07 Prix. I mean, I want to get the Grand Am done too, but I've still got a long ways to go on it. So I want to get the 07 done, and in order for me to get it done, I got to get this engine done so I can get it ready to go in this car. And I mean, I could rob the timing set off of this and throw it onto that one and get that one done so I can do the engine tranny swap into the 06. But I'm really just not trying to rush it. I want to do everything right. I don't want to forget no steps. I don't want to do nothing and break anything. Everything's been going pretty well so far. So I'm just going to keep my fingers crossed that everything keeps working out well for this engine. And I got to get that transmission pulled out from back there and go power wash it and get it cleaned up. And get a new filter and pan gasket and new fluid for it. And I think I have to swap the pan because I'm pretty sure that pan has a hole in it. And I don't know if this pan will swap around. It's about the same shape, but I don't know if it'll work on the 4T 65E or not. But yeah, that's gonna be it for tonight, you guys. So like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned for more content. Comment down below, let me know what you think of the videos and what you think of the build so far. Man, I can't wait to see this thing in here again. It's been at least like 5 months since I pulled, 5 or 6 months since I pulled that engine back out of here. And it looked so good in there all together. And just no compression. And then I broke the bell housing pulling the engine block back out. So now the trans is fucked. So I just changed everything, changed all the plans for the whole build. But it's cool. I think it's going to be worth it in the end. There's been a few people on Facebook. One guy's done the swap with the 5-speed swap in a Malibu, in like a 2000 or 2001 Chevy Malibu. I mean, people's done the 3800 swap into Cavalier, into Aleros. I mean, dude, they're swapping into everything, and people's getting done fairly quickly. I don't know, they just only seem to have one project car, and I've got 4. So, I think that's my problem, is I'm trying to do too much at once, do too many projects at the same time, and I'm just not concentrating all my money into one build. I'm buying stuff for all 4 at the same time, so but yeah, that's it for tonight, you guys. So y'all stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Alright, you guys, got the engine off the stand. We're just about done cleaning up this rear cover, all the old gasket off. Just got a tiny little bit left up right there, and just some of the sealing spots. I put some razor blades down here to keep stuff from falling in the oil pan. But yeah, it's just about all nice and cleaned off, and then I can get that rear cover on with the new gasket and get this thing all sealed up. And I got another quart of oil to dump in there. I want to throw the flex plate on there and get it bolted on and throw the starter on, and I just want to crank it over and hear how good the compression is. So that's my goal. But I'll keep you guys updated as I go. Alright, you guys, so got the new seal in, got the whole rear cover on with the new gasket. We got everything RTV'd in both corners, so everything is good to go. Got the oil pan bolts in, so now everything's nice and sealed up. Now it's going to be getting the flywheel on, which is around, yeah, right there, bam. So I'm going to grab those with some Loctite, and we're going to get this flywheel on here, or flex plate, and get this thing together. Alright, you guys, so I've got the engine back on the stand. Did get the flex plate all mounted on there, and got the starter on. Got thread locker on, blue thread locker on all the bolts. Got them all torqued down. Went ahead and just threw the starter on there. It's already dark, and I don't have my jumper cables. So tomorrow I'm going to get some wires and throw some wires on here and just jump it over. I just want to hear it crank over with the starter, so y'all stay tuned, and I'll be back over here tomorrow, and I'll get a video cranking this thing over so we can hear how good that compression is with the new pistons and rings. So you guys stay tuned, and I'll keep you guys updated. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, yeah, and earlier I went and had my tires swapped around onto this wheel, so now it's all aired up, and then the wheel was chipped pretty bad right in here, so I used some black nail polish and painted over it, and man, you almost can't even tell now. Looks so good. So, and now it's got all 4 aired up tires on it. So eventually I'm going to clean this thing off. And I'm going to pull this thing out in the daylight one day and spray it down. See, look at all this dust. It's my poor car. But yeah, I'm going to get it out of the storage, get it rolled out there, and I'm going to wash it. My buddy David just got this nice little portable power washer. So I think this is going to be the candidate for its first
unboxing video
test out. So yeah, it's like a Works. Yeah, Works brand portable
Hydro Shot, I think.
Electric power washer off a rechargeable battery. Crazy. $100. So we're gonna try it out and see how well it cleans this thing off after a year and a half of being in storage. Poor car. But yeah, that's my update for tonight. I'll catch you guys tomorrow and we'll get the cranking video on this thing. So get this, you guys. So I was getting everything put up and then I was thinking about it and I was like, man, look at this. I didn't even need this flex plate. I don't know why I even torqued that on there, and I have to have a flywheel because I'm going 5-speed. I forgot. I'm a fucking dumbass. But, yeah, so I'm going to have to pull this back off the stand and pull that back off tomorrow or sometime. But, yeah. So, I still got to get the actual flywheel for the clutch. And I'll get that put on there off of the Camaro. So, yeah. Just wanted to throw that in there, that I'm a dumbass. I put the wrong shit on there. But it's okay, I caught it. So, y'all have a good night. Catch you tomorrow. Hey, YouTube. Alright, so it is Saturday. I've been over here working on the parts car for like the last 3 or 4 hours. So, I got this fuse box out of my way. And I was able to get... I found out that the car had an Egr Delete Plate, so I took that. I got the evap line that goes from here up to the solenoid, because there's one on Supercharger right around in this area, so I figured I could probably make that work. I got the shifter cables and the whole shifter assembly over here. Got everything out of here. So I still got to get the clutch pedal. I'm still working on that. I've got to get these bolts that are like way the fuck right behind here, behind the dash. And they're kind of a pain in the ass to get to. Same way I got everything else out. See, you can see where they're at. So this is what I'm trying to get out, but on the back side. And yeah, then I've also got to get, I'm going to take these. I've figured out on the Grand Am for the 3800 swap, on my fuel rail, it's got the fuel feed and return sitting about right in here somewhere. And so these plug in right down here, which I have this exact same setup on the Grand Am now, and they just come right up to here. And that's both of them. So if I can get this off, take this to the parts store, get a brand new one, or try to clean this up, depending on how good a condition it's in. But I don't know, everything on this car is pretty fucking rusted, so I'm banking on it to be rusted, but I don't know, I might be able to make that work for the Grand Am swap. So that could be pretty sick, pretty badass. So hopefully, I don't know, we'll see. But I'm going to try to get that off. And I still got to get the clutch pedal out. So I'm going to keep working at it, and I'll keep you guys updated as I go. I just want to give you guys a little update. So I've got the slave and everything that goes over to the trans. That's the evap tube. There's the shifter and the cables. And this is the one that goes up to the ignition, which, I don't know, some kind of lock. I don't know. But either way, I'm happy with it. So I'm going to keep making more progress, and I'll keep you guys updated. I'm over here at my storage today. It's Sunday. So the engine's looking really well, really good. So yesterday, I worked yesterday morning until about 1 in the afternoon, and it was pretty hot. So I ended up not coming over here yesterday. I just went to the house, and I worked on the parts car a little bit, as you guys seen. But yeah, I made some good progress. I got the whole shifter assembly out of the parts car. So I'm going to have to pull that shifter cable from down there out that grommet. It runs up here to the trans. So since this is all going 5-speed, that's got to come out. I can rerun all that. I'm kind of packed in here at the moment though. So I can't really swap anything out until I get the car pulled out of here. Or at least get all this other crap pulled out of here. And I still can't really open the doors very much. So I will end up making some progress on that. Just not today. But I did get a lot of the stuff pulled off of the parts car. It's in the back seat of the 06. So I'm happy with the progress I've made so far. I did find out that those fuel lines will plug in right here and should reach right up here to the top of the engine, to the fuel rails right here. I mean, they might be really close, like to right in here. I don't know, maybe I can figure something out on those, but I'm going to try to make those work. Even if I have to get some brand new ones or just have some custom made a little bit longer than those. But that's pretty much exactly what I need for the swap. So I'm really happy that that's going to work. I just didn't have my tools, all my tools. I left some of my tools over here. And this is what I needed. If I would have had that yesterday, I could have got those fuel lines off. But yeah, I'm going to take some of these tools, well, most of these tools with me today. I got to get those front seats out, so they're a huge Torx bit that's in there. So I'm going to take that Hart toolbox and this red bag, and maybe the jack, I don't know yet, and the air compressor. I'm going to go try to finish getting all the rest of the stuff, rest of the parts out of that parts car. I've got somebody message me that's interested in the engine. Well, I posted the engine and transmission for $250, just trying to make some money back and get parts gone. I have somebody that's interested in the hood, the headlights, and the header panel. So hopefully I can get some stuff sold off that, make some money back, and can put that money towards the build. So still gotta get those axles off that other car. Still gotta get that rear trans mount right there off the 5-speed, and maybe that AC line, because I'm pretty sure this AC line is a little bit different. I don't think this AC line bolts up to the 3800 AC compressor, but someone said the 4-cylinder one, either, I don't know if it's the 2.2 or the 2.4 4-cylinder AC lines, but one of those AC lines is supposed to bolt right up to that AC compressor. So I guess we'll just see how that goes. But for the most part, I've been making a lot of progress, and I'm really excited. I still got to get this transmission out of here, and I need to drop the subframe again. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I need to do. I really just need to get a little bit bigger storage unit for the Grand Am, like the one that the Grand Prix's in. But I've made a lot of progress so far, so I'm happy with it. I'm going to keep making more progress. I'm working on the truck a little bit, I got the headers installed. I had my buddy weld up the exhaust for me on the truck, and like, he was busy. He had a bunch of other stuff going on. So he had one of his new guys he hired that said he could weld, do my exhaust, and it turned out looking like shit. And all the welds looked like shit. He didn't clean none of the metal. So now my buddy said he's going to cut everything off, redo everything. And it's just a pain in the ass because dude welded it. And I was on my way home. The exhaust came apart. The welds broke because he didn't clean nothing. So the welds didn't penetrate. It was just kind of holding it there. I made it 10 minutes down the highway and it broke. It's already loud. So I bought some headers for $100. Just some swap headers, I guess. The shorty headers. I thought they were direct bolt-in replacement. Bolts to the factory flange. Hell no. So now I ended up breaking the EGR bolts off on the EGR on the factory manifold, and I had to cut the downpipe on the driver's side off because I couldn't get the nuts off because they were rusted on there. So yeah, right now the truck's just kind of a big pain in the ass and just a big shit show. Well, pretty much all my stuff's a big shit show, but the truck's a shit show right now. The Grand Am's coming together. I just got to find a 5-speed trans. I have the actual flywheel. The manual flywheel should be here by Friday. So I'll have that here soon, and I can get that on here and torqued down with Loctite and not this flex plate. But, I mean, everything seems to be coming together. So I'm pretty happy with it. I've got to get some more oil for this. It's only got 2 quarts in it, and I really want to crank this thing over. I brought some wires so I can put on my solenoid here and just touch it to a battery or touch it to the jumper cables or the battery charger, whichever. But yeah, I want to crank this thing over today, so I got to get some more oil, add some more oil in here, get these cables on here so I can just crank this thing over and hear how good this compression is, because I'm really excited. I'm really excited. I'm ready to hear this and see what it sounds like. So stay tuned, you guys, and I'll keep you updated. But yeah, I made lots of progress. Here's my shifter cables. So I went and power washed everything at the car wash last night. That's that slave. So I'm making lots of progress. I'm happy with it. But yeah, stay tuned, you guys, and I'll keep you guys updated as I go and bring it along, showing all the progress. So thanks for watching. Y'all have a good day. Hey guys, I just want to show you I was able to get the broken exhaust stud out of the head. So all I did was I was using this little easy out bit. Oh, probably gonna get it open with one hand. Yeah. It's called the Alden Grab It Damage Screw Remover. It works really well, and pretty much it's a 2-piece. You use this piece first, and it drills a hole in reverse into the screw, and then you flip it over to this end, and that grabs in the hole that you drilled and pulls it out. And really I just was using the first end, was drilling the hole, and I seen it spun a little bit, so I just grabbed the vice grips there and came right out, no problem. But I've used these little bits a few times on extracting broken bolts, and they work really well. And this was like, I think it's like 15 or 20 bucks or something for these 2 bits. But I've had them for like 3 years, and I've used them multiple times at work, on cars. They work great. So I just want to show you guys that you can fix your shit if you break it. It's not the end of the world. So but yeah, I just want to give you that little update, let you guys know I got that bolt out. So at least now I'll be able to get the exhaust on here and get it tight. I won't have leaks like I did on the 06. So there it is. That's my update. Alright, you guys, so I got my brand new cam key from ZZP installed, and this rear gear slid right over, no problem. I've got the dots lined up, they're in time. I never loosened this, so this is still tight. So this is the timing gear, and you can see the slot for the cam key there. And on the back side, it's kind of twisted and fucked up. So I don't know what's up with this gear, but I ordered a whole new timing set. Comes with this new gear. I just have to reuse this magnet. But other than that, I've got the new timing gear, the new oil pump drive gear, the new chain, and a new tensioner on the way. So this needs to come back off because I'm not using this one. And this oil pump drive gear can come off because I'm not using that one. And then come off, bam. So my new timing kit should be here Friday. I'll be able to get this on. Not too bad. Yeah, that stuff will be here Friday. I can get this done. Start getting his exhaust on. Get this timing cover on. Start getting this thing ready to go. So you guys stay tuned. I'll keep you updated. Alright, you guys. So this is my one of the old timing gears and the old oil pump drive. I just want to show you how this works. So there's this gear behind here. That's just the gear for the balance shaft. So there's a dot right there on the top of the balance shaft gear, and then there's a dot on the top of that gear behind this timing gear here. Yeah, so you line up those two dots. There's that new cam key. See, that gear slides on fine. My original gear was kind of fucked up right here. This one's a little bit messed up, but it kind of goes on there. Yeah, I just want to make sure I got everything ready to go so I can time this when this timing gear comes in. Yeah, pretty much you line up your balance shaft with the first gear, line up those two dots, have your engine at top dead center, put your oil pump drive on, and it's got a dot right there. Then once you put on your second timing gear with the chain, you just line up this dot to this dot and make sure those two dots are lined up. And if you're at top dead center, then everything should just line right up. And you just put this gear with your chain and your oil pump drive gear with the chain, kind of keep it tight, slide it on there, put your tensioner on, pull the pin, and it's set. Using an aftermarket like a double roller, you don't have to use a tensioner, so it's a little bit easier going that route. But I just ordered the factory supercharged timing set. It was like 40 something bucks, not even 50 bucks, and it just comes with this new gear, this new oil pump gear, the new chain, and a new tensioner. So I got the cam key from ZZ Performance for like $1.99. I bought 3 of them. With shipping was like 16 bucks. So it is what it is. I got 3 new cam keys, one for this engine, one for the 07 Pre. And then if I end up having any issues with this one, or I need to pull this one apart again for whatever reason, then I'll have another one. I'll have a spare. Might end up building another engine. You never know. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that little bit. And then yeah, so you're also supposed to replace this cam bolt. They're like 9 bucks on ZZP. I've got one of those coming. Yeah, machine shop said that pretty much they're not going to be able to fix the cam for the 07, so I'm pretty much going to have to buy a new cam. They're $329.99 plus tax right now on ZZP. And then I need the new LS7 lifters, and I need the ARP assembly lube. I still need quite a bit of stuff. There's like $900 worth of stuff in my cart on ZZP right now, and that's just like everything else I need, so I can even have everything ready to go to pull this engine, tear it down, and build it with everything that I have. So yeah, I'm not too sure on the 07 right now. Like, it's going to be a little bit. I've got to come up with $900. At the same time, I'm trying to save money for a house, so it's really difficult. But I'm trying to get one of these projects done so I can. Like right now I'm paying like $300 a month just in storage fees for these 2 storages. And I mean, 300 bucks a month is a big chunk towards rent or a house payment. So I'm just trying to get some of this stuff done and get it out of here, so that's one less payment I have a month. And yeah, so I'm making progress on these. I am going to grab the pulley puller, the Supercharger pulley puller. I'm going to be pulling this pulley off and pulling this hub off and swapping them around. So I'll have the ZZP hub on the Grand Am engine. So yeah, I've got to get that done today. This new timing chain and stuff should be here by Friday. I also have some other stuff coming in. that I ordered. So I've got a new 1/2-inch drive, Dewalt 20-volt impact I ordered. Was 26 bucks on Facebook Marketplace. It says it's brand new, it's a tool only, and they said it ships, so I guess I'll just see. For 26 bucks, I think it's a pretty good risk, because it's like $200 tool, so even if it's a scam, at least it's only 26 bucks and not $200. But yeah, I'm gonna keep making some progress on this, and I'll keep you guys updated, so stay tuned. Hey YouTube. Alright, so I've got the front and the rear manifolds on, and the crossover pipe. Come to find out, this stud here was snapped off, so I used my easy out and got that one out too. Didn't even know that one was snapped off in there. So I had this bolt snapped off on the rear head, and this one snapped off on the front head, or no, this one snapped off on the front head. So I got both of those out, taken care of. So now I got all the exhaust bolts in, both manifolds are on. Got the oil dipstick tube in. Just threw them plug wires on there. Just seeing how it looks. This was that blue valve cover. I painted it black. Gave it a couple coats. It's not perfect, but it looks pretty damn good. So got that on there. It's still not done. It's still got to get push rods for it and everything, but it's definitely coming together. So still got to get this off the stand. Got to pull the flex plate off. Got to pull that rear cover off. I rebuilt, cleaned this one up. Got all the old gasket and everything off. Sprayed it down. Knocked the old seal out. Put a new seal in. So that's ready to go. And then I painted up this timing cover. I swapped out the water pump. I still got to swap out the sensor because I didn't mask it off. But that's, once I get the timing set on there, that's everything that can go on there. So making some progress on the 06 Pre engine. So I'm still kind of not a whole lot left on this one. So I've still got to just pull this Supercharger pulley and swap it with that one, swap them around, and then I still got to get the alternator bracket on here and all that. Just haven't got that done yet. I'm kind of just waiting to pull this pulley off before I throw that on there and just put more stuff in the way. I'm gonna have to take this back off because it's kind of close, and it needs to come back off anyways because I'm still not done it behind there. I was just kind of fitting everything up, seeing what it's looking like. But things are definitely coming together. Like I said, I'm still waiting on that new flywheel for the 5-speed, so I can get that on here and torque down. And yeah, it's definitely coming together. I'm happy with it, making a lot of progress. Made some room over here on the side. Just kind of stacked some stuff up over here. It's all my gaskets. That's the rear cover gasket. Another water pump gaskets, some exhaust gaskets, coolant elbow, O-rings. So, stuff's getting there. Got a new, another oil filter housing for the gasket for in here. So I haven't even changed that one yet. I just got it painted up, put a new filter on it, and it's got the crank sensor on there. All the bolts are there except for the one that goes here, which is like these, that holds that plastic cover dust shield thing. So I've got to find that bolt. But other than that, I've got all the bolts for it. So now I'm just waiting on the timing cover, and then it'll be good to go. So I'll keep you guys updated. Still making some progress. Still got a long ways to go, but man, this thing's just looking so good. Can't wait to see it out in daylight with these wheels on it. Still got to paint all the centers back black, make them look better, because all that chip paint just looks like shit. But it'll get there. They will all get there. See, that one's got some chipping on it too. Bam, yeah. But yeah, there's the trans. I gotta get it out of here sometime and take it to the car wash and power wash the fuck out of it, because it looks horrible. I gotta get it really fucking cleaned up. So I gotta get that out of here sometime and go get it cleaned up. And that's gonna mount onto this. And so I mean, I'm making progress. It's slowly but surely, but I'm definitely making progress. So I will keep you guys updated. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Hey YouTube. Alright, so I'm working on the Grand Am again today. I'm trying to get this clutch pedal out. So I pulled off this steering linkage that goes from the steering column down to the rack, and pulled out that boot to give me a little more room. So there's what I'm working with. So the stud here is loose. This whole piece slides. I just can't seem to get it out. Let's see, I've got my 3 bolts that hold the pedal in up here. They go right up here. And so my whole pedal's loose. I'm just hung up on that bar, that push rod for the slave. I just can't seem to get it out of here. I don't know what to do. I'm stuck. So that's the only thing that's keeping the clutch pedal in here. Just trying to get it out around that frame. I've asked a couple people that did the swap, and they said you don't have to like remove the whole dash or anything to get this pedal out. So I'm trying to figure this pedal and get this clutch pedal out, but I've already got everything else. It's already over at the storage. So this is just the last thing I need is this pedal. And once I get this pedal, then I can start getting everything swapped into the red Grand Am. So it's coming. It's getting close. I'm steadily making progress. So I've got a buyer lined up. They're supposed to be coming today to come look at this engine. I told them I could go ahead and pull it out, and they said they wanted to come look at it first. And I sent them the video I made like a month or so ago of it running. And I mean, the car's literally just been sitting here. They have one person interested in the engine and transmission, package deal for $250. I got another guy that's wanting the reservoir for $10. And I got a lady that she needs the headlights, the header panel, and the hood. And I told her $75. So hopefully I get some people coming and buy some stuff from me today. If the guy ends up wanting the engine, I'll pull the engine and trans all one piece. So pretty much all that's left is just the radiator hoses and the heater hoses, power steering hoses. And that's pretty an AC line maybe. I mean, everything else, the whole engine harness is all disconnected and thrown over. So they'll get the whole engine harness with the fuse box, power cable and ground cable. I guess I just got that 110 right there for the ground, and that goes with the engine. That stays in the car. This stays in the car. So yeah, it's getting close. So hopefully I can sell some of these parts today, get some of this stuff gone, and hopefully I can manage to figure out how to get this clutch pedal out of here, because I don't know, I'm just not getting it out. And I'm tried everything I can, trying not to get frustrated with it. So I'm gonna keep working at this, and I'll keep you guys updated. Just want to give you guys an update. Alright you guys, well, engine is out. The guy just came and picked it up and hauled it off. Got $200 for just the engine. I was wanting $250 for the engine and the trans, so I still got a trans. He kept the clutch and the flywheel because I didn't get to unbolt it off the engine. But if anyone needs a trans, I'm pretty sure that slave is bad. It looks horrible in here, but should still be a good transmission. So if anyone needs this 99 to 05 Grand Am 2.2 liter 5-speed transmission. $100 and y'all can have it. So holler at me. Let me know if y'all need it. If you need any other parts, I still got the radiator in here. I got the fans in the back seat. I got the hoses. I didn't cut any hoses. Didn't cut any wiring.
Don't look at any.
I got a good master cylinder here. Brake booster. The steering rack. I know the tie rod boot on this side's off. I don't know if the subframe's broke or not. This side looks good. Oh, maybe not. Maybe the tabs broke on that side. I can't tell. Oh, no, it's good. The mount on that side doesn't look too bad either. I can see the bolt poking through down there. But, yeah, engine is gone. So I've already made almost half my money back off the whole car. Just off the engine. And then I got a lady that's coming to get the hood, the headlights, and the header panel tomorrow for $75, and then another guy that's coming to get the coolant jug for $10. So that's almost $300 back just off the engine and some little bullshit. So
and you're still getting the axle.
Yeah, I'm still getting everything I need for my Grand Am for the 5-speed swap.
Got good window motors.
So
that's what we.
But yeah, this is my update for today. Engine is gone, so y'all stay tuned. I'll keep you updated. Hey YouTube. Alright, so I'm back over here at my storage. So this is what progress I've made. Not very much. I did get the valve covers. I just painted, swapped out, and put on here. And I got the AC bracket and the AC compressor on. Turned out looking really nice. So now the AC compressor's on. One thing that's weird is, if you notice this bracket here, this Supercharger bell idler, see how big that pulley is, and then how much bigger that one is? Exact same thing, but that one's just way bigger. I'm not sure, because this dust shield looks like it's the same size. Oh, that's weird. But there's my the bracket, the motor mount bracket. There's a tensioner. I got the clutch pedal off of the parts car finally, and there's the push rod for it. And so this little ball right here clips into that white socket right there. And it goes like that. Yeah, it just pops down in there, and this goes up through the firewall first. And then, so on that note, so right here where those two bolts are, that's right where that clutch master or slave normally sits. So I'm going to have to drill out the hole in the middle of that for that push rod to go through. Which means I have to get the stencil off the other car and stencil it on there. Drill out the hole, push the push rod through, and then I haven't got to get inside the car and look up under there because I still got all the shit in the way. And I haven't moved it yet. So hopefully whenever I get all this cleaned off and I pull the car out of here in the next week, hopefully, then I can actually get up in there and look. Something else is I'm going to have to hook the steering back up under that boot because it's not hooked up on this car. And so I'm not going to be able to steer it unless I hook that back up. But yeah, I was looking at the subframe on the other car, and it doesn't even look like anything is really different. I mean, this front mount right here, the transmission mount bracket is a little... But yeah, that front mount right there is a little different. The rear mount right there is a little different. The mount over here is the exact same. And I mean, the mount over there, that was on the engine, you know, but I mean, like, a lot of the subframe looks exactly the same as that 5-speed one. The only difference I really seen was the mount, how it mounts to the transmission. And I mean, the axles are definitely different because the passenger axle, it goes clear to over here. on the manual. But I don't know. And then on that other car, I've seen the AC lines. I don't know if these are the correct ones I need or not. I think those are off the 2.4. Man, it kind of looks like those will just go right on that. That's awesome. I don't know. Hopefully, I guess we will see how that turns out. But the ones on the parts car, I'm going to grab that whole AC line piece also and kind of test that one if this one doesn't work. But yeah, this car will still have AC. It will still have everything just like factory. Except for it's going to be a 5-speed with a 3800 and a supercharger. It's be like the Grand Am that Pontiac never made that they should have made. Even though it's already been done. There's one in black and there's a Malibu in green. So I guess hopefully we can see another Grand Am in red. Black and red. It's going to look fucking sick. Can't wait with the headers. And the catless downpipe, and I've got my flange right there with the new gasket and my bolts. I just gotta have that flange welded on down underneath the car where I cut it off previously back there. Just gotta have the flange welded on back there, and then my catless downpipe should bolt right up to that, and that should be good on that. And then I did get the fuel lines off of the parts car. I had to cut these pieces right here since it's a junk car now, And so I just cut those because I couldn't get them off while it was in the car. So I'm going to have to try to get those off. And once the engine's in, I'm going to test fit these. But I had these sitting right up next to these two. And I mean, they go right up about to where the fuel lines are sitting right here on the back, top side of the supercharger. So these might actually work. So once I get all this back together in the car and I get to that point, if these are the right size, I'm probably just going to go buy some brand new ones. That way everything looks nice and fresh for the build, But I mean, for backups or something, or if I end up doing another one. Because once I get this down, then I'm going to know how to do it. And it's just going to be the wiring is my issue. But I know Gage will have my back when it comes to the wiring. So I'm also going to be hollering at Gage on that motor mount that goes on over there. Because if I can get that mount bracket from him, then I don't even have to swap subframes. I can just keep my subframe and just use the other mounts, like mounting brackets. And I'm gonna get that poly rear bushing for that 5-speed mount. And yeah, it's coming along. I'm very happy with the progress. So I'm still waiting on the new flywheel. It was supposed to be here this Friday. Now it's saying it's going to be next Monday before it's delivered, like the 27th, I believe. So, still waiting on the flywheel to come in. And once I get that in, I still can't even bolt it on there yet, because I still got to have it machined for the clutch. I still got to order the clutch and wait for it to come in. I still gotta find the 5-speed transmission out of the Cavalier. And I guess if I find the 5-speed transmission in a Cavalier at the junkyard, I could just pull that flywheel, the clutch, and the transmission and get everything. And then that way I'll have the bolt pattern that I need to have machined onto the new flywheel that I've just bought that I'm waiting for. So then I'll have that clutch bolt pattern and everything on that new flywheel, so that whenever I order the brand new Cavalier clutch for the Cavalier transmission, it'll just bolt right on and everything should align and be good. So it's still quite a bit to get done. I still got to order a bunch of parts. It's just money, but I'm definitely making a lot of progress, and this thing's looking spectacular. I love it. I cannot wait to hear this one run. And I cranked it over with the jumper cables, and those wires are kind of thin. It was getting a little hot trying to run all that power straight from the 06 to that starter, but it cranked over and it sounded good. It sounded like it had really good compression. I didn't get to record it. I didn't have any free hands. I'm sorry, but it's got great compression. I'm loving it. So I'm really excited to get this thing together, and I just gotta. So all that's holding me up is I just gotta find a 5-speed. Then once I find a 5-speed, I can at least bolt it to this and set it in there while I'm still got to order the clutch and all that. I can at least get it in there, get it mocked up, make sure everything's fitting how it's supposed to fit, and then it's all just getting it hooked up from there. So yeah, but I'm happy with the progress, so I hope you guys are enjoying it, and just leave me a comment, like, comment, subscribe, comment down below, let me know what you think, let me know what else you want to see done. So thanks for watching, you guys, have a good night. Hey YouTube, it's Thursday, and I am pulling the Supercharger pulleys off. I moved the other engine for the 06 over to the other storage to make some room, and got all the parts for it out of the way, except for the transmission back there. But yeah, so I've been working on this thing, and it's been fighting me. This little, where the pulley goes on the shaft, it was like rusted over. You can even see on the back of the plastic tab. So what I ended up having to do was I had to put oil all around that. And I tapped it a couple times with the mini sledge right there. But I had to put oil all around that, and then I had to add on these 2 gold washers, because normally it's just silver ones, and you put oil in between and on the outside of each, and it was just, I couldn't get it to come off. So I added these 2 gold washers and put oil between this nut and this washer, and between both of these, between both of these, and between both these, and between this gold one and the bar. So there's oil between every single one of these and all over the snout. And finally, after like an hour of fighting this one pulley, I finally got it free. But so pretty much you just got to hold this still, hold the shaft still, and use the crescent and spin while you're holding the ratchet to keep the snout from spinning around. So it's kind of a pain in the ass, but yeah, finally it went pop real loud, and finally got it to pop free after fighting it for so long. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a little update. I did get the alternator bracket painted up yesterday, and I let it dry overnight, and I came over here as soon as I got off work, and I got the coolant elbows all nice and RTV'd and got them in there. Got this all bolted down. Went through my other stuff, and I had this alternator. This was the original the original alternator off the 3.4, because I'm going to be using the Grand Am wire harness. It's got this plug instead of the newer style, like this one for the 06. So this one's going to go for the 06 build. But yeah, I've made quite a bit of progress today. I'm just working on getting this pulley off, and then I got to go pull the ZZP hub off the other one so I can swap them around. As you can see, this is the 3rd one I've pulled so far. There's my other 2. So it's getting there. It's gonna be fun. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated as I go. I just want to give you guys a little update on this Supercharger pulley puller. So stay tuned, y'all. I'll keep you updated. Alright, you guys. So I did manage to finally get the pulley off. It's down there in the box now. Yeah, that's 3. But yeah, my puller worked great. So I still gotta unscrew this bolt. It just screws into the end of the shaft there, and that's how you keep the shaft from spinning while you're pulling the pulley off. So yeah, so now I've got to take all this over to the other storage and pull the ZZP hub back off the other supercharger, or I could just buy another hub. It's like 40 bucks, so I might do that, and then that way I can just bolt the other hub on here and just have one on both cars. So I don't know, I might just do that and then go that route. So but I will keep you guys updated as I go. I just wanted to show you guys how to use this pulley puller and give that little bit of information on putting oil on here in between all these washers before you start pulling it, because it just helps reduce the friction and just helps these slide and just spin on each other and not bind up. And because man, before I put oil on it, they were just binded and it would just not spin anymore. And I just had to loosen it and take it back apart so I could put oil on it. And then once I put oil on it, pop, came right off. So just make sure you guys lubricate these washers and the end of your shaft where the pulley is. And then after this time, like if you're pressing another pulley or pressing a hub on here and you have to pull it back off, it shouldn't be that big a deal, because it's not going to be 20-something years old and rusted on there. So just a little tip for you guys, but I appreciate you guys watching. This is my little update for today. It's probably going to be the end of this video for now. I did get the flywheel ordered. It should be here either this Friday, either tomorrow or next Monday. And then yesterday I ordered the clutch, like whole clutch kit, and I ordered the slave master cylinder going down to the transmission slave itself. So I ordered all that. It was like 250, 300 bucks. I have the timing chain for the 06 engine is on the way. It should be here tomorrow, hopefully. I did get the shifter, and yeah, this is pretty much the other piece that I ordered. Is all this piece with all this. This was like 60 bucks. And this is what bolts onto the firewall right there at the pedal. There's my clutch pedal and the push rod. Yeah, the push rod's right there next to it. And that pushes into this right there. And in turn, that gives us clutch. So on this one, the guy that I bought the parts car from, he did say that that he was having a problem with the clutch and with the slave cylinder and it not bleeding, and I know that it didn't try to work at all for me. So I think I'm just gonna get a whole, well, I already did. I ordered a whole new setup for this, so I can use this one to like kind of get it marked up there in the engine bay and drill out my holes, because I gotta cut out the hole for that center circle to go through the firewall right over there. See those two silver bolts back there? That's where this is gonna sit and bolt to the firewall. And so yeah, I can use this one for mock-up and to get it test fit. The new one's on the way. And then here's my shifter with all the cables. I'm still looking for a transmission, for a 5-speed transmission, but I sold the engine out of the parts car, and I have the subframe, the axles, all the trans mounts. So I pretty much have everything I need for the swap except for the Cavalier transmission. So, but I've got the flywheels on the way, the clutch kit's on the way, the timing kit for the other one's on the way. What else did I order for this? And I've got like 5 packages on the way right now. I'm probably going to have to just order a modular hub, so that way I don't have to fuck with the other one. But, I mean, other than that, this engine's pretty much complete, minus a couple belts, and the actual flywheel instead of that flex plate. and then it's just wiring. And I still got to get the rear header and the crossover pipe on, but I kind of got to wait for that because I don't have room in here to have all that on there, because it sticks out fucking like to here once it's bolted on. And I don't really have room for that right now, so. But man, dude, this thing is looking good. I cannot wait to get it out in the sunlight and look at this thing. Get it all nice and clean. But it's definitely coming together. I'm happy. And then, yeah, so then also once I get that timing kit for the other engine, I can get it all the rest of the way to put together, get that transmission out of here, get it cleaned up, and it'll pretty much be ready to swap into this. I moved it over there. I pulled out the whole engine harness and the computer and everything that I had in it whenever it blew up. So I pretty much have everything ready to go. Just hook it back up, bolt that transmission after I get it cleaned up, and do the filter and pan gasket, and swap the pan because that one's got a hole knocked in it from the salvage yard. But yeah, once I get all that cleaned up, then I can get it mated up to that engine, and shit, it'll pretty much be ready to rock and roll, ready to go back in. So still lots of stuff. My main focus right now is pretty much trying to get the Grand Dam done. So if I can at least get the transmission, get everything bolted together and set in here and bolted in place, and get the axles in and everything that I need, that I can do the little shit at home. And I can tow this thing back to the house. I can work on it at the house, under the carport. And then that way I can eliminate the storage. Because like I said, you know, the storage, it adds up every month. And I'm trying to save for a house. And like I had saved a couple $100 and I ended up having to spend it. So had bills and had to order car parts. And I'm trying to get everything going. And it's hard to do everything at once on one salary. So like $400 or $500 a week after taxes. And that's paying everything, so. But I'm happy with the progress I'm making. I can't wait to get all this shit cleaned off my car and get it pulled out and actually see it in the daylight with the wheels and everything. Tires still aired up. Yeah, I'm ready to see this thing out in the daylight again. It has been way too long. She's been locked up in here. I feel so bad. But I'm really digging. I'm loving the way that it's looking with the wheels. Yeah, I love it. I really can't wait to see those wheels against the red. But yeah, pretty much I've got to find this transmission so I can get it bolted up to this, get everything set down in here. I got to get this transmission out the way. And I broke it. And then I'm going to have to buy a new set of these fuel lines, so that way I have some not crusty ones that can plug in right down there and come right up here to the top. And at least once this is down in there and in place and I know where it sits, then I'll really be able to mock that up and see if those are long enough or if they need to be a little longer. But just from me mocking them up, I mean, they come right up into about right in here somewhere, and that's right about where that sits. I was looking at the picture when I had the first Supercharger engine in here, and it seemed like the fuel rails up there was sitting right about even with this line in here. About here, and those other lines, they come up a little bit further. And I know I've got the hood scoop, so I know it clears. But I'm really thinking that those fuel lines are going to be long enough and they can just plug in right there and come right up to the top and plug right in. So as long as those will reach, I'll order some brand new factory 2.2 Ecotech 5-speed fuel lines. And I'll get those thrown on here, so I have some brand new fuel lines on it, and it'll be factory. Won't have to worry about making nothing and it leaking. And like I was going to try to do with this, because this is what I had, and this was just the factory Grand Prix fuel line and another fitting off another Grand Prix fuel line, and I just cut it and spliced it. And this one was way too long. I was just trying to keep it out of the way because the exhaust is going to be coming back down here. But, yeah, I mean, you could definitely tell those are a lot shorter than that. But, this is what I was trying to fab up. I didn't know if it was really going to work. But, yeah, I'm sure that would probably leak. But I know with those, they won't have any leaks as long as they're long enough. So, only time will tell. But I've pretty much got almost everything I need. I'm just lacking the 5-speed transmission. So if any of y'all have a 2000 to 2002 Chevy Cavalier with a 5-speed and a 2.2 Ecotec, please holler at me. Let me know how much you want for it. I'll give you a couple $100, $250. You know, the cheaper the better. But I mean, I ain't trying to pay no $500 or $600 for a transmission. I got less than that in the car. not including all this, but I don't know. I'm just ready to get this thing driving, and that's the one thing I need is a trans. So if any of y'all have a transmission, drop a comment. Let me know if you're wanting to sell it and how much and where you're located. And I'm in Oklahoma, so if you're way far off, don't even bother because I can't really do freight or none of that. It's just super expensive. So, but yeah, I'm ready to get this thing going and get this set in here, and I'm ready to hear this thing run. I'm really excited since this is all the new pistons and rings, and this is the first time I've ever done that. So I'm really excited to see how this goes. But I appreciate you guys watching and keeping, following along, and appreciate the likes and the comments and everything and all the subscribers. I'm up to 55 or 56 subscribers now. So I appreciate you guys. And yeah, if you would, just leave me a comment down there. Let me know what you think of the build. And yeah, so appreciate you guys watching. Y'all have a good day.